Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So it's that time of week again. It's our usual Friday night live. So it's time for an update on what's been going on in the garden and a general update on things, how they're progressing over here. So we've got, let me just shift that over there, see if that's a little bit better. It's catching on those lights, isn't it? And let's see. Shift it a little bit this way. It's all right. We'll just have a bit of real light to go with us. That'll be all right. So, how is everyone? Let's see. It's been a busy week. Summer's always quite busy. Whenever we get into this time of year, it's always quite. I mean, things get a little bit calmer in terms of planting and getting things planted out, but it's always quite busy because I'm getting ready and preparing myself for next year. So loads and loads of things getting ready for next year, mainly preparing compost and preparing my seeding mulches for next year. So if you've saw my last video, you'd have seen how I prepare a lot of compost and how I use my different types of compost and what I use it for. That's one of the really things that I push a lot is make your own compost. It makes a massive difference to what you're growing with and how you're growing. Alan, how are you doing, mate? Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're doing well. Scooby over on TikTok. As usual, we're streaming on TikTok and on YouTube, so we're across multiple platforms at the same time. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. So we've got Storm Betty over there. How is it? How bad is it? Jamila Young, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. It's been a long time. I'm glad you've made it in. I really am. It's been a while since I've seen your comments on my videos as well, but I'm really appreciate you coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Hope life's treating you well as well. So yeah, I mean, at the moment, the main things that I'm working on is just preparing loads and loads of compost. I've got a couple of well, I say a couple. I've got about 3 builders bags full of compost ready, sort of composted wood chip that's ready to go down, and we're working on a couple of new projects. The kids want me to build them a tree house, so I've managed to clear that whole bottom area underneath a big sycamore tree and get that whole area cleared. Yeah, so really good progress on that bit. It was overgrown, loads of brambles, loads of mess. I've got all that cleared, so that's one job done. Now I need to find the timber and stuff to build them a treehouse. So someone over on TikTok just asked, do I have any videos on my composting methods? Absolutely, I do. If you look on the last video that I just did on YouTube, you will see all the various types of compost that I'm making, and you can see how I make compost. Tao Yang Wali, thank you very much for your cultivate. You're very welcome. I mean, you're very welcome. Big Mac, how are you doing, mate? Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. Alan, how's Storm Betty? How bad is it over there? Muslima, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, joining me over on TikTok. Hope you're keeping well. So yeah, there's a couple of projects. So yesterday I managed to go and fetch a load of recycled bricks. So yesterday evening I spent shoveling through someone's big pile of rubble, collecting all the good pieces of brick and fetching them back. And that's going to be the first few bricks that I've collected for the new greenhouse that I'm building. So hopefully over the course of this winter I'll be able to collect enough type of bricks, enough bricks to be able to build my new greenhouse. What sort of stuff will you be growing around autumn, winter? If you look on my last video, the video before this last one, you'll see a list of things that you can be sowing now. So onions, lettuce, radishes, turnips, quite a few other things as well. There's a good amount of stuff that you can be growing. So Tedman, how are you doing? Thanks very much for coming in. Make sure you post it on TikTok with the build. I will. So I'll give you an update on the bricks, because I spent this evening cleaning a load of bricks, and I've got some actual big news that I'll share. I don't know if I'm ready to share it yet. Mimi Susu joining over from Florida. Hope you're keeping well. Ben, those 4 blacksmith tubs and 6 black terracotta pots dubbed on my road. Forgot to grab them and they've gone. What are blacksmith tubs? Oh man, that's a shame about the terracotta pots, because they would have been awesome. But what are blacksmith tubs? I'd like to know that. So assume you have a dwarf wall, then recycled windows. Yeah, pretty much. So we had our windows replaced in our house year before last. So I've saved all the glass from that. So I've got some quite large glass panes. So basically, I'll build a wall similar to a conservatory, and I'll frame those windows into the wall. I've got to figure out if I'm going to build a door myself, or if I'm going to find a door from, like if I strike it lucky, like I did with the patio doors on my greenhouse. If I can do that, then that'll be wicked. So my bottle gourd and squash is starting to take off again. Is there any hope of getting a finished fruit off them? All my melons suffered this year. Got one lovely sugar baby watermelon. Oh, beautiful. I'm still hoping that there is time for. I'm still hoping that there is time for bottle gourds to be harvested this year. Yeah, I really am. We've got a few. It's been a poor season for me for bottle gourds. I'll be honest with you on that one. Normally by this time of year, I'll have harvested quite a few, and you normally see my videos on them harvesting. But this year, I've only had maybe a few grow to about that size. Hopefully, we'll get a decent run in the weather. There's supposed to be a heat wave coming, and that might push them over. Especially if we have a warm September, then yes, hopefully it'll be there. So Joan Pulley, thanks very much for coming in. Let's see who else we've got. We've got Ruby over on TikTok. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Have you ever had a chance to grow veg in Bangladesh? Absolutely. I spent a year out there when I was younger. So I spent a lot of time just following my uncle around. I was too little to go with my brothers and everyone into town and visiting places. So all my time was just spent following my uncle around, on the land, watching him grow, watching him keep the animals, and get into stuff on there. We've planted a few trees. Well, we own this sort of hillock. And when I got married in 2009, I planted 10,000 trees, and just basically rewilded that area. Yeah, so now when I went back 2 years ago, those trees are now nearly 15 years old, and they're putting on some good size. There's a lot of jackfruit on there. There's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of mangoes coming on as well, coconuts. Any TV appearances coming up? Nothing planned. Let's see if someone reaches out. Maybe. So don't waste time talking to idiots. Let's just block them. There we go. Bye bye. Yeah. Any idiots that come in, we just block them. So blacksmith tubs are bigger black tubs with handles. These are like, oh, okay. So I get you. The ones that builders use normally. Do you know, like so they're like the flexi buckets, those kind of things. I couldn't get any to start off. Haven't been in the ground that long. Bottle gold wise, August is definitely warmer than July this year. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Last year it was absolutely amazing. I had a couple of mods, but they stopped coming in. The only problem is we don't. Tedman's someone who comes in and stays in for a while, but not everyone, not many people on TikTok stay in for long enough. Um, that's the only issue. See, Ben, I had a similar problem. We started off bottle gourds, and we started them off our usual time, sort of March, a little bit earlier than normal, so early March instead of late March. And then what happened was they started becoming really big in the house, and because we couldn't handle them in the house, we clipped them back. They suffered a little bit, and then when we planted them out, they were just too weak to take off. Um, land there. And then when we planted our second plantings, they've come on. The plants are amazing, but we're just not getting any fruit set. So we don't have, yeah, that's the thing on TikTok. We don't have long attention spans, but yeah. Tedman wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Iono, you make super. Oh, thank you very much. Is Alan going? A storm Betty, weather warning, 50-mile-an-hour winds with the rain. Are you quite exposed where you are, Ben? Sorry, Alan. Are you quite exposed? One of the problems that we have when it's windy is because we're at the top of the hill and the two trees at the bottom of the garden make our garden like a wind tunnel. So the wind whips up our garden and causes a lot of damage to our house and our garden. So you try to plant lentil dal here. I've never tried it, we grow sort of bean sprouts or mung beans, mung bean dal. We grow those kind of things, or chickpeas. I've tried growing chickpeas before, but the harvest is never very good, so it's not worth it. I've ever grown moringa. I'm looking for moringa. I'd love to get some moringa here. That's one thing that I would love to grow. So over on TikTok, is it possible to grow chilies outside, or would a greenhouse be better? For things like chilies, greenhouses are always going to be better, regardless of the variety. Some varieties of chilies will do okay in the green, do okay outside. So some varieties of there's a couple of chilies that I grow outside. One Bangladeshi Danu Moris, actually, that does amazing. Regardless of where I grow it, it's really productive, even if I grow it outside, but it's extremely, extremely hot. There's some of the green chilies, the less hot green chilies. There's some basket of fire that are made for patios, the bred for patios, they do okay. But even in the greenhouse, they always do better. Moz, how are you doing? It's been a while. Have you got off that surfboard? Tony, how are you doing, man? Hope you're keeping well. Long time no see. Hope everything's good with you. I'm in London. It's healed my arth. Oh, the moringa's healed your arth. Oh, amazing. How did it? What sort of healing qualities does moringa have? Because I know it's almost like a miracle plant. Is moringa? Ali wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thanks very much for coming in. Bodybuilder salam, please make dua for me. May Allah grant you afia from every difficulty that you're having. So my boot jolokia haven't done well at all. Only had 3 chilies so far. My lemon drops are going like crazy. See, lemon drops, they always do what they're one that will grow well. So someone asked earlier on TikTok what chilies can grow outside. Lemon drops are another one that grow well outside. But Jolokia, a lot of my Naga are quite behind this year, so I'm in the same boat. I think July's causes a problem. You know, July was really, it just wasn't up to temperature, was it? It was quite cold compared to what it should normally be. Um, and I think that set us back on chili front. Last year, it was absolutely amazing. We had some, wow, the best year I've ever had with chilies. But this year, I think they're going to be struggling. Um, on the 3rd, it's available on Amazon for pre-order, be released. But oh, look at this. Tony's turned into a bit of a writing machine at the moment. Um, yeah, grind it up and put it in vegan carbs, and it takes 6 days. What are vegan carbs? Literally, they've gone nuts, like 20-30 chili per plant, and big chili. See, you'll get a lot of good chilies like that off lemon drops. They're a really good one to grow. They're really productive. Um, if you want something really hot, I'll send you some Danumori seeds, which they're extremely productive. They're a little short chili. They're about that drop, that short. They're about an inch in size. They grow a little bit like a rugby ball kind of shape, and they're hot like fire. There's not a lot of flavor to them, but they just taste like fire. So it'll be high quality printing through a publisher. Tony's on a mission. This is what I like to see. See, Tony, how are you coping with everything else at the minute, Tony? So, the Danumoris we grow for pickles. We actually make a special pickle for that. Managa and Scotch bonnet are really doing well. Have about 28 chili on plants and about 30. But you're doing better than me, Moz. My Naga are really slow. They're starting to set fruit now. Some of my green chilies are starting to ripen up and turn into some turn into some good chilies. But my Naga, my Trinidad Moruga, everything is just so slow. It's not been a good year for chilies for me this year. So we'll do something to try and improve that. I don't know how, but whether we just stick it up, whether I move a load of plants into my office, and because it's constantly warm in there, it's the only problem that we have in there is there's no light. So we'll move them into the office in September, October, and then we'll be able to harvest them for a bit longer into winter. So I think that's one of the things that I might do. Or capsules. Okay. I'm with you now. I'm waking up. Better now, mate. Put out the first video in 6 months today. I'm finally getting over the burnout. Oh, I'm gonna go check that out. So everyone go check out Tony's new video. But yeah, congratulations on getting your video out, because we've been missing you. Now please email you like October time for some seeds if possible. You can email me. Yeah, October time. We'll start drying the seeds. They'll probably be ready about December time because we slowly dry them before we plant them. Had homegrown cauliflower for tea. My wife, she's doing some volunteering, or she's working at Kirkstall Farm, and she's bringing home all kinds of funky veg at the minute. Is one of the good things about that there is pretty much all women that run it, and yeah, she's bringing some nice veg home at the moment, which is compensating for the lack of veg that I'm growing. This year it's been a struggle. But there's some big news today, actually. I've just got back from actually visiting a farm. So not so long ago, we visited a farm not far, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from where I live. and there's potential to take on a few acres of land up there. So we're just having a bit of a contemplation about it. The problem is it is 25 minutes, and I know what I'm like in terms of getting out of the house and moving somewhere that's away from where I live. So that can cause me a bit of a problem. So moving from where I live to somewhere and going and actually doing some work and then coming back, that causes me a bit of a problem. So what's he gone? I've got some my pumpkin. I think the one fruit set I never had. Is fantastic. Good news on the pumpkins. So Maghrib in London. We're about 10 minutes behind you. Someone's asking about Rebwa. Okay, I don't know who you are. If you know me, then message me and I'll talk to you about it a little bit more. So I think it's going to be a good year for pumpkins. Actually, we've got a good few set. We've got a good few okuchi curry type pumpkins. I'm not a fan of them, but they're quite prolific. We've got a few Blue Hubbard set in and a few Crown Prince set in as well, which is quite nice. I only have one plant, so as the YouTube subscriptions gone up for me, Alan, or for anyone else, YouTube's just really slow at the minute. So I supported you in getting rid of Baba Jaga and all them betting shops. I even voted for you. Yeah, the thing is, there's not enough people who are willing to make a change. Too many people make a lot of profit off that. So a lot of people are profiting and ruining the community, and that's one of the things that's causing a problem. So previous years I was using hybrid seeds and the plants were very feeble and weak. How much does what cost? So I had to start harvesting over 15 different to avoid slowing caterpillar damage. I've harvest toms inside found the same issue this time. What caterpillars are you getting on tomatoes? What about 15-minute? What 15-minute walk restrictions? Lucky enough, here we don't have anything like that. But if anyone tries something like that, I'll be heavily fighting against it. The anthotoms don't appear to be getting targeted by pests. So, the land. So the land, it's on a sharecropy. The good thing about it is that it's an existing CSA system. So I'll just be taking over the CSA, running that, and then share the profit with the farmer. So it's that really. So the thing that's holding me back, there's two things. One is that it's away from my house, so it's that 25-minute travel. That's the thing that will cause me an issue. And the other thing is, I don't know how flexible that farmer will be to a different way of working, because she's a conventional farmer. She grows straight lines in a very traditional farming type of way. whereas I grow in a little bit more of a my emphasis on is on growing with deep mulch. Now, how open to a little bit of change she'll be is the thing that I'm having to think about. Um, so that's the only thing that's making me think twice. So the good thing about it is it's a wall garden. It's an old Edwardian wall garden, so the walls are about 15 feet high. So there's lots of protection. It's pretty flat. Um, the land isn't being used anywhere near to its potential. Probably of that 2 acres, probably about an acre is under cultivation. And there's a lot of improvements I can see straight away that a lot of changes that I could make and put it to some use. The good thing about it is that it's not going to take on a massive investment. So it'll be a taste of farming life without actually having to buy a load of land. But again, it's someone else's land that you're working on and improving on. And one is you're improving someone else's land, and you're leaving them a nice big business, and it's never yours. And the other thing is, they can kick you off at any time. That's the one thing that scares me about working on someone else's land. So did you check out roots plants? My Philodria didn't seem to set fruit, but the petals were delicious. And some of the pink. Huh? Sorry, Ben. I'm not following you with that. For everyone, I've just got news from a mate I follow on YouTube. He said almost double, and he can't afford to do YouTube videos. Although I'm not YouTube subs. Why can't he afford to do YouTube videos? I don't understand. Because subscriptions don't cost anything. Putting videos onto YouTube don't cost anything. So I don't know what he's actually talking about. So the anthotoms don't appear to be getting targeted by pest. No idea. They're really small. What pests are you getting on your tomatoes? Just got back from a long weekend and sawfly stripped the currant bushes and gooseberries. Been shaking them occasionally to get the worms off. Where are you growing your gooseberries and stuff? Are you growing them in on their own or are you growing them with other plants? I haven't done well with growing coriander. Caterpillars keep getting them and stripping them. What again? Where are you growing your coriander? Could you grow them in a bit more of a confined area? You should apply for R&D tax credit. I know about R&D tax credit. I'm not comfortable with doing that. I've seen you could claim the money, but I'm not comfortable in doing that because it's not real R&D. If you read the technical specifications, it doesn't class as real R&D in terms of what they define as R&D. So a lot of restaurants that are claiming R&D in that way, they're not really claiming R&D. A new recipe is not R&D. So I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it for myself. So Ben M. Sawfly decimated my raspberry plants this year. I'm lucky enough to never have had sawfly. So So I've never had to learn about them. But what are the natural predators for sawfly? I'm not sure what that thing is. ATM. I'm also a chartered accountant, by the way. Snails and caterpillars on my tomatoes. I've been lucky enough never to have had snails attack my tomatoes. But caterpillars, um, everyone's sad about Wilco. Yeah, I think everyone's gutted about Wilco. That's a full-time job. Straight lines help with netting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm very with you. No, it's the sort of thing that I was more thinking about was is straight lines. Yes, fine, but it's straight lines that are running up and down the hill, so it's not going to help with your water retention. There's certain things you can do, just tweak the straight lines and just change the direction of the beds. Yes, I understand some beds are positioned in certain ways for maximize sunlight, but tweaking positions of beds, digging ditches in certain places just can help with water retention. She is an organic farmer, but she's not a mulch farmer. That's one of the things that I'd see a little bit different. Um, Open up the center of the bushes. They don't like airflow. The bush is too congested. If you have airflow, aim for goblet shape. And you can see the leaf like folded, and that means you have sawfly. They emerge like little worms. Okay, right. My raspberries are fine. Could do with pruning. Guys, I'm gonna need a little break. I just need to quickly go and pray. So I'm gonna just step away for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'll be back. So you guys chat amongst yourselves. I'm not gonna end the chat, but I'm gonna be back in the next few minutes. Okay. Right, I'm back. Okay, so let's see. Sorry about that, but I had to just quickly step away. So in the last 2 years, I've written 3 books, 10 ebooks, rebuilt a website, and started a second website, second YouTube channel, and made content as well. I hold a full-time job in fire service and family. Something I had to give. So Tony, when you're working as crazy and crazy hard like that, life can get overwhelming, man. See, I've not done I've not done a lot of that. I mean, but I know how you feel. I work full time. I teach pretty much all evening up until 11 o'clock every night. And then on weekends that I'm spent flat out in the garden. So it's hard work. Like a 15-minute video can take a good few hours to produce. And that's one of the things that is often not realized about making YouTube videos. There's a lot of work for it. Oh, we've got trouble. We've got trouble. Here we go. We've got trouble. We're about to get everything taken. Yeah. There we go. I'm being pushed out of the way. What are you doing?
I'm taking over.
You're taking over?
I'm taking over.
Okay, let me see.
I'm taking over.
So even the cat's
Yeah. I'm a little standy cat.
Okay, let it go.
It's a little standy cat.
It's a little standy cat. So
My simplified
so
gardening.
so
Said it looked like it. Cat.
I've looked at your channel. It's my setting. You were auto locked for using certain words. That's why I've unlocked it and just mind what you're saying. So Tony's an old goat. Yeah. So she's about. How old is the cat now? She was born in March.
12th of March.
12th of March. Okay, so whatever that is. So she's still a little kitten.
She's a little kitten. Look at the camera, Bunny.
So I call it not backing off when overwhelmed. It's an innate clue to slow down and reprioritize. If one doesn't, all the spinning plates fall and the family suffers.
Oh. I think I've sing it wrong.
Oh. Let's see. I agree. It's one of the hardest things I have to stop.
I need to go read the math now. Bye.
You read the math? Yeah. Go read the math then.
I haven't read the math yet.
Here?
Barney's just gonna sit here next to the camera.
Okay, you go do what you're supposed to do. Let me see if I can be like the Godfather, Joe, with my little cat.
You're squeezing her eye.
See, taking on so much, it does take its toll. You know, it does really get on you. That's why I love the summer holidays, because I'm not teaching and I get my evenings to relax a little bit. But when I say relax, I'm out in the garden full pelt. What's happened to that camera? Yeah, like today I spent all evening cleaning bricks, so smashing cement off old bricks. I can't wait to start on the greenhouse, but I just need to collect enough bricks now. What's up with you, cat? You gonna go? Okay. I think she's getting to those teenage years, this cat, and getting a little bit more grumpy. I bought a cat about 2 weeks ago now, getting him fixed on. See, she's going in on the sometime next week to get it sorted. Yeah. Your cat looks like my little Lucy. We lost a couple of years. 17's good going. 17's actually amazing.
Yeah, and Papa, Alan Tiger said that I'm 64.
He's 64. How old are you?
I'm just 5.
You're just 5.
5!
Alan, they call me old. So yeah, they call me old. So yeah, I get the same. Someone told everyone on YouTube. One of these kids told everyone on YouTube that I was 49.
What?
I'm not 49.
What?
What? Looks like my name has got a raise. It's all been it's all been to get ready for a few months, mate. New website nearly complete.
Baba, Alan Tiger said, slow down, Tony, or you'll end up like me.
So I just think I got some cat fluff on my tongue. You do. Ow! Little monkey. So I took the whole family up to the farm today to have a look at it. And I've got this munchkin. Within about 5 minutes of us being there, he's like, "Oh no, I can't walk anymore. You've got to carry me."
I was too hot.
So he was too hot apparently. So for an hour, I was walking about with this little monster on my shoulders, while he was trying to twist my head off.
I wasn't. He's lying.
You weren't trying to twist it off. You were just trying to twist it.
He's lying.
I'm lying. Were you trying to twist my head? Were you twisting my head?
Nah.
No, not at all. You weren't twisting it at all.
I don't karate moves here.
You doing karate moves? Okay, you do your karate moves. Cats. We've got loads of strays that live in our garden. See, we've got a good few strays that hang about in our garden. There's one that lives in my straw, where I keep all my straw for the chickens. There's one that lives in my shed, and there's one that's always hanging about my compost pile. They're big fat tomcats, and they're always in the garden.
After you talk, I'm going to show my ladybug.
You're going to show your what?
Ladybug.
Okay, bring your ladybug. You can show that. So, one of you is enough.
Guys, look at this guy.
So look at this, guys.
Look at this.
So
there's a ladybug in here.
Zaki collected a ladybird earlier.
It's
a ladybird. It's not a ladybug. You're not American.
It's not a bird.
It is. It's a ladybird.
It's not a bird.
It is. It's a type of bird. Is that?
No, it isn't. It's so small.
Yeah.
Birds can't be so small.
These are tiny, small ladybird birds.
Bird.
Yeah, it's a bird. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. My tomatoes
Are you
have stopped
wondering
flowering
what's
and I
in
really
here?
don't know how to fix this. I fed them, not overwatered them, got sunlight, planters, got proper air, but no flowers.
Let me tell you how I found the ladybug.
How tall is your tomato
I found the ladybug. Guys, how to get a ladybug. I need to tell you something. So, if you find a lady, how I found a ladybug.
So look there, look, it flies, so it's like a bird. So it's a flying bug, so it's a ladybird.
Stop!
It is. It's a.
Just stop!
No, we call them ladybirds.
Stop!
There's a whole book company called Ladybird Publishers.
Guys, stop! Stop!
No.
Guys, do you wanna? Guys,
so
this is how I caught a ladybird. I found the ladybird upside down on the floor.
Yeah, and then how did you catch it?
I turned it upside down. I turned it back to normal. Then just climbed on my finger. Then just playing on my hand. Then it went on my own for a rest.
So
then I made this for the
after every leaf joint, it should be sending out
and
a
I
branch
put some leaves in.
with flowers on.
And I put this leaf
now,
for it to climb up so they can breathe. Got it.
Have you read namaz yet?
No, I was eating.
Go on.
No.
So yeah, so when your tomato plant grows, right, it sends out a leaf branch. From that leaf branch, you sometimes get a sucker.
Do you like Baba, just stop talking.
Let me just answer this question.
Guys, then I showed the ladybird to my mom and papa. Then we got the jar. Then put it in the jar. Then we got some paper. Then just and a rubber band. Then we put. It takes 2 people to do the lid. So you do paper and 2 people, and you put the paper on top, and the other person puts a
rubber
band on, and you make some tiny holes for the ladybird to breathe through.
And then
tiny so the ladybird can't get out.
So you got your ladybird in a jar now. Are you happy with your story? Are we good? Okay. So where you get your leaf suckers from a leaf joint, on the opposite side you normally get a flower stalk shooting out. Now they can sometimes start off looking a little bit like suckers before the flowers open up. So you've got to be careful of that. Now if your plant's growing so tall and it's not producing flowers from every alternate, so if we call them a section, between one leaf and the next leaf, it should be sending out flowers, a truss of flowers from every alternate section. Now if it's not doing that, what I would have tended to do was leave a sucker lower on or lower down the plant, because normally what happens with new suckers is they send out a sucker, and on the end of a sucker they have a set of flowers quite early. So grow the sucker out, keep the flower on there, and trim that, and cut the end off the sucker so it doesn't grow any longer. It just has that one truss of flowers on, and do that with your suckers. So instead of getting flowers off your main tomato plant, you're getting suckers coming off the side with a set of tomatoes on. So I've got a few tomatoes that I've done that with. So how many ladybirds? Zaki, Ben's asking how many ladybirds did you catch?
I only catched one.
You only catched one. So Nur Lamin wa alaikum assalam. I've had 2 gourds blossom so far and grow them to finger-length size, but then they stop. Sounds more like pollination. It's not. It's not going to be a cold issue at this time of year. It's more than likely pollination. So do you mainly grow your tomatoes inside, or do you grow a lot outside as well?
Guys,
because we grow loads outside.
Can more people talk to me?
More people talk to me. Derek, how are you doing? Glad you made it. More people. Ben's asked you how many ladybirds do you catch?
I did answer him.
Do you want to do an experiment with me tomorrow? Because that's a good sized jar. So we've got another one of those jars. We can see if we can get
another one of those jars.
A soil thing going.
What is it, Baba? What experiment is it like?
Amanda, where'd you get that weed whacker from? Because I'm looking for a strimmer at the minute.
Baba, I know what we can do. We can put sand.
And my hedge trimmer. Yeah.
We can put sand on one layer and.
We'll just get some garden soil, put it in, and watch it grow.
That's not an experiment, Baba.
That is an experiment. You watch what grows and what happens from it. We'll seal it up and see if we can create a planet inside our jar. Yeah, that's an experiment.
Have you seen when they fill the jars with different coloured sands and then they use a
guys
to make
guys?
Oh.
Oh!
Yeah.
Why are you not talking to me?
No, so talk to me.
Talk to me.
Oh,
talk to me, not him. I'm gonna shove him away.
No, don't shove me away. Ow. So
already shoved away.
My outside tomatoes are amazing. See, we're having a good tomato year this year. We're having a really good tomato year, one that I'm really happy with. I've got inside tomato plant.
I didn't get to talk.
Oh man. I've seen some of them on TikTok, Ben. There's an American guy. He he drives around with a truck full of goats, goes and drops them on someone's property, and he uses them to completely finish everything off. Yeah.
Eyes,
Yeah.
eyes.
What makes your hedge trimmer? It's I think it's called a Terratech. But what's happened to it is it's not produced. You know, it fires up, right? But it's just not got enough power to get to the battery's not producing enough power to power the blades properly to cut, or to get enough speed to clear, you know, to cut something. So as soon as you cut a leaf, it jams. So the battery's dead. Now the question is, do I fork out another 30 quid to buy a new battery, or do I buy a brand new hedge trimmer? That's the issue. So I think it's a battery issue that's causing my hedge trimmer to stop working. But it's that decision that I'm looking at. You know me. You got to think twice before you spend a penny.
Hello.
I can get pigs in Vauxhall City Farm. I suppose they've got fiberglass scarlet. A fiber. What are you doing? Dave.
Sorry.
They're looking right up. You know.
That's the point. Sorry.
I suppose I might go to Wales before I'm due back at. What have you got planned in Wales? See, this farm idea, I'm really. What do you think of the farm today, Baba? Yeah, come here. Not enough horses, but we're not going to be looking at horses. Yeah, Louisa's still got the same face. I looked everywhere for a trimmer that was battery compliant with my hand tools, because that's the problem I've got. You see, my hedge trimmers Terratech, my drills Bosch, my chainsaws Yard Force. Like, I've got so many chargers and so many different types of battery. That's one of the things that they started with all that. That I was just about to mention Ryobi. That's one of the things they started about with the simple battery. I think, do you know when the EU brought out that legislation that made all phones use the same charger? I think similar legislation to force all companies to use the same battery would be a good move, or to use the same battery fitting. That would save so much it saves so many resources. I know they won't do it because these companies are too big to and they'll force them. And they'll argue that it's losing their competitive advantage. But it'd be a good move to save a lot from being wasted. Because so many people have so many chargers, and so batteries. With everything moving to battery, it needs to be on a single format. It needs to be a single style of battery. You could, sure, different companies can tweak their battery formula or whatever they use inside the battery to make one better than the other, but they need to be on the same format. Pick up a sheep on the bike. I used to do security. I had to go to City Farm at 2 a.m. The plastic cow. What's this plastic cow and fiberglass car? I don't get you. Are you talking about like dolls or something, or are you talking about a breed of cow? All my battery tools are now Ryobi. See, I bought a battery chainsaw, and I wish I'd have gone for petrol. The battery just doesn't have the power, but I was too scared of getting a chainsaw, you know, with yes.
After, can I show them the stuff I do in my notebook?
Yeah, bring it now. So
Wait, can I
finish your namaz and bring it.
I will.
So yeah, I wish I'd have got a petrol one, because the battery one just doesn't have the power, and I've got 3 batteries. The chainsaw came with 1 battery. I bought another 2, but even then, you're waiting for batteries to charge while they don't last the time that you need them to. So I just wish I'd have bought a petrol one now. Some hedge trimmers need oil, some in special compartment need sprayed on blades, etc. See, I spray a bit of WD-40 on the blades. That's not the problem. It's the with my hedge trimmer, it's the amount of power that's being generated, because even though it ticks over, it's not spinning, it's not moving as fast as it should. The battery's just not holding enough charge. It's definitely a power issue. So giant fiberglass cow thought it was real. Okay, so one of those. Okay, I'll get you. There's plastic cows in Milton Keynes. Plastic? Why have they got plastic cows? Not as scary as unexpected mirrors behind doors, but it took me longer to know. I've seen that small farm in the middle of. I've seen that small farm on TV somewhere. Can't remember if it was on Newsround or some kind of program, but I definitely saw it. A lot of people go down from offices and spend time down there and stuff. I had 1 battery hedge trimmer. Is the time over winter that ruins them. They have to be topped up. I went back to the old electrical cable. See, I wouldn't get an electrical cable simply because I don't like chopping through the cable every now and then. It doesn't. It happens to the best of us, even when you're using it. Like when I first started trimming my hedges, when we moved here, the hedges were so overgrown, and we're using electric powered hand tools. And one time it got stuck. I cut through the cable, and like a crazy guy, I grabbed hold of the cable to try and pull it free. And then I was there and just like with my hand on this cable, and yeah, my hand was buzzing for about a week afterwards.
Can I show my drawings now?
Go and show your drawings. Alison, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Hope you're keeping well.
I need you to move.
You need me to move. Go and show your drawings.
Yes, I'm taking over the channel.
Go on.
True, I'm taking over the channel.
Quickly do your thing. So Clay wants to show you some of his drawings. He's doing.
The first one is.
He's doing some cartoon comic things.
The first one is Technoblade.
Go on.
And
they can see it.
This is Technoblade, and the other one I drew my Spider Bite. And in the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, the spider chase scene, I basically redrew it, but with my Spider being the one being chased. That's the truth. So that's everything I've done so far in my new notebook. Oh wait, yeah, and I did
See, beautiful drawings, talented Technoblade. I wish I could draw. See, what's that?
Huh?
That was like a monster.
It's Spider-Ham, but no, without the color, without the colored in, and it was bored, and I didn't want it to bleed through the page.
Okay, we'll put him away.
Okay.
See, there you go. Another picture, another comment. Great drawings. Well done.
All right, thanks.
Well done. Good boy. Right, guys. We've hit that 9 o'clock mark, so I'm gonna call it a night here. Yeah, and we'll be back at the same time next week. So yeah, I'll catch you again next week then. Okay. So assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.